Good evening. Welcome back to PWTRN News with your host, Mosey Along. And tonight on Mosey's Monday Bread, we're going to discuss warm climate and human pressure reshape island wildlife. Welcome to Mosey's Monday Bread. Today, we're looking at a quiet crisis unfolding across the Laos Islands, places that hold some of the most unique wildlife on Earth. New research warns that climate change and human pressures are reshaping these ecosystems faster than our scientists expected. Islands have always been biological treasures. Their isolation creates species found nowhere else. Rare birds, ancient reptiles, delicate plants, and small mammals that evolved without predators. But that same isolation makes them fragile. When conditions shift, island wildlife has fewer places to go and fewer ways to adapt. Recent studies show that climate change is now accelerating those pressures. Rising temperatures, stronger storms, and unpredictable rainfall are altering habitats that once remained stable for centuries. Species that depend on narrow environmental conditions, like certain seabirds, amphibians, and coastal plants, are losing the very niches that kept them alive. But climate isn't the only force at work here. Human activity is reshaping islands even more quickly. Development, tourism, deforestation, and the introduction of invasive species are pushing native wildlife into smaller and smaller corners. Rats, cats, pigs, and even certain insects brought by humans have devastated populations. That never evolved defenses against them. Scientists warn that these combined pressures, climate and human, are creating a, quote, double squeeze, unquote. Wildlife is being forced to adapt, migrate, or disappear. In some places, species are shifting their ranges uphill or inland, and others are changing behaviors, breeding patterns, or diets. And in the most vulnerable islands, extinction is becoming a real possibility. One of the most striking findings is how quickly these changes are happening. Researchers expected gradual shifts over decades and said they're seeing measurable impacts with just a few years. Coral reefs bleaching faster than they can recover. Bird species abandoning traditional nesting sites. Reptiles losing access to the microclimates they need to regulate the body temperature. The studies also highlight a critical truth. Island ecosystems are indicators of global change. Because they respond so quickly, they show us what may happen elsewhere if climate pressures continue to intensify. In that sense, islands are not just isolated environments, they're early warning systems. But the research also points to solutions. Conservation efforts that remove invasive species, restore native vegetation, and protect coastal zones can dramatically improve survival rates. Community-led stewardship programs have shown success in places like New Zealand, Hawaii, and the Caribbean. And scientists emphasize that protecting islands is just not about saving wildlife, it's about preserving cultural heritage, food security, and the natural defenses that shield communities from storm and erosion. The bottom line is this, people. Island wildlife is changing and not by choice. Climate pressures and human activities are reshaping ecosystems that once stood untouched. The challenge now is to recognize those changes, respond quickly, and protect the species that cannot protect themselves. This has been Mosey's Along Monday Bread. And please go over to our website, PWTRELYNEWS.kinsta.cloud, CLOUD, so you can read up, furthering your knowledge of how to help protect these islands, because these islands are forewarning to what's going to happen to you in the mainland. Good night. Keep yourself dry. We're in for a gully washer here in Berks County tomorrow.